I'm still.
Hello, and welcome to this FBF Emergency Escape Podcast, episode 203. My name is John Gerdebed, and I am joined by Sean Vyatt
Low.
and the voice of the Mr. Dan Sullivans,
So,
who apparently needs to set his user profile picture still.
music profile picture.
Yes.
People head man. We are here as ever to discuss the week's video gaming news and talk about the games that we've been playing. Sean, you've been dabbling in something or other.
I've been busting ghosts, John. Busting ghosts.
Are you afraid of said ghosts?
Not really.
Does it make you feel good?
It does, however, make me feel good. Yes.
Good.
Good.
I can't remember what we said Dan was playing. I think it might have been Costume Quest. Was it Costume?
Yes.
And
Enjoy it, John.
I have been playing the classic Halo Anniversary on the Halo Master Chief Collection. Which probably everybody knows what it already is, so I'm not going to be talking about it very much.
No.
But before we get to that, we have this week's news, which begins with news of Nintendo of Europe, who has confirmed the UK release dates for the third and fourth waves of Amiibos.
Amiibo! I
The
literally can't stop.
You have a problem.
Yes.
The third wave will be 6 figures. Rosalind, Bowser, Lucario, Toon Link, Sheik, and Ike, and will be launching on the 23rd of January.
Cole.
In the United States and the Japans, those 6 are joined by Meta Knight and King DDD. However, King DDD and Meta Knight will be in the fourth wave in the UK, which is where they will be joined by Shulk, Sonic, and Mega Man on the 20th of February.
Sonic, another Nintendo character.
Classic Nintendo character, yes. Yes.
Indeed. Like
Yeah.
a character.
Yes, a Nintendo character.
Yeah.
Blizzard!
They've done a thing.
They have revealed another card for the upcoming Goblins and Gnomes expansion set that has been announced for Hearthstone.
Goblins, little things that start with G.
Yes, it's a theme.
Little start with G.
The Goblin Auto Barber is a rogue class card and adds an extra point of damage to whatever weapon you have equipped when the card is played.
Auto barber. What,
The Auto Barber, yes.
as in you get a shave?
A device for cutting your hair ostensibly.
A shave and a haircut.
Super effective.
Not only does it give you a +1 to whatever weapon you happen to be wielding at the time, but it leaves you with a 3/2 minion for 2 mana.
And an extremely smooth face.
It is also a mech card, which is a new category of cards coming to the expansion. And there'll be mech-specific synergies.
Wait,
Where-
new type of card, so they're doing the whole magic thing with.
Well, they've already got several types of card.
Mech can be one of those kind of be all end all. like Fly Awards, you know, where all of a sudden you need to get a whole bunch of new units because
Yes.
and this guy had Fly and this guy had, you know. Hooray!
The expansion is due to be released at some point in December.
It's going to be released eventually.
And you'll be able to buy the new card packs using either the in-game gold or real-world money.
Real world.
Does that?
The Goblins vs. Gnome packs will also replace the Expert card packs awarded after finishing a run in the arena.
Cool.
What?
So get them just by playing. So, yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
Okay.
I think that's what Cyborg Dan just said.
That's what it means.
Just Cause 3 has been announced for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Woo! And it's not a free-to-play title.
Not
Yes,
so.
It'll cost money. Hooray!
It'll cost money, but at least it'll probably be a better, shinier.
It,
Free to play.
Huh?
what was wrong with free-to-play? Nothing's wrong with free-to-play, but there's a lot of heavy criticism with it.
Yeah, but who thought it was going to be free to play?
It appeared that there were going to be microtransactions that led people to think that it was going to be a big free-to-play thing, but then Avalanche basically came out and said, no, that's an archaic version of the build. That screenshot shouldn't have been released. We're really sorry. I don't know. They just needed the money back from the QA testers. They were paying them too much, so they gave them microtransactions.
Good.
Okay.
It's been revealed in this month's issue of Game Informer and will launch in 2015 and will feature vastly improved parachute and grapple mechanics.
We don't want improved mechanics. We want the physics-defying wizard.
I'm hoping the physics-defying wizard will still be there, but with better physics-defying grappling hook.
You have to fly into the ground at 1,000 miles an hour and survive.
Yeah. And multiplayer from the outset.
Oh yeah, it needs to have multiplayer immediately. What with the popularity of the mod that was for 2, that they would be silly to not include it.
Indeed.
Clarity, of course. Yeah.
The Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is out.
Yeah, that was quick.
Really was.
Like the horrifying animatronic animals that make up its malicious cast, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has seemingly come out of nowhere and cost $5.59.
little bit of a price hike, but
They know people are going to buy it now.
But from the popularity, the people are going to buy it, so I don't know.
I should plug this in.
You really should.
I should also plug this in.
Also, I don't even know what this plug does.
Oh, it's just my life support. Electricity, flow into the computermatron. Yay!
We're a professional outfit here at Final Boss Fight.
I'm glad to say that 2 viewers are here to see me plug my laptop in.
Hi,
Hello,
guys!
viewers.
Apparently we've disconnected. We weren't entertained.
Why are you not entertained?
Massive Chalice is out now on Steam Early Access.
And I am tempted so heavily by it.
This is, for those of you unawares, Double Fine's kick-started turn-based strategy game. The game...
Isn't it?
What?
It's a little XCOM.
It's inspired by XCOM, but it's obviously a fantasy world and stuff like that.
The game is the game will typically cost you $22.99, but early access editions are 25% off. So $17.24
at the moment.
at the moment. The game
Yeah.
is pretty well complete and already playable from start to finish, with the remaining work mostly balancing, tuning, and polish as we work towards 1.0 in spring 2015, said Double Fine producer Greg Rice. But most importantly, it's already a ton of fun and you should totally play.
Yeah, I'm as I keep saying, I'm tempted, very tempted.
Planned additions to the game include controller support, more language options, including French, Italian, German, and Spanish, and the ability to select your core bloodline from the database when creating a new game.
Whole new game.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, I'm tempted with it, but at the same time, is it only because it's got the name Massive Chalice, and is it just because it's Double Fine that I want it?
Yes, it is.
Double Fine is a very heavy name to have on a game.
I've become a massive fanboy of Double Fine.
They have a rich history and a high quality of production.
Indeed.
It's hard to not respect that if you don't mind the genres of games that they dabble in.
Goofy. That's the first line of this thing. I just wanted to read this. Goofy top-down spinning limousine arcade game.
Hey!
I could be talking about so many different games here.
Oh yes, there's thousands of games like that, John. Which one are you talking about in particular?
I'm discussing Roundabout from
Oh, I've never heard of it.
No Goblin, which has announced that the game is coming to the Vita and PlayStation 4 early next year. This is the first time that we've actually heard that it's coming to the Vita,
Which is great for me.
which is great for the Vita owner out there.
Me.
No Goblin co-founder Dan Teasdale has teased on the PlayStation blog.
He's got a very convenient job for his name.
Yeah, we're doing a ton of special stuff for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita releases. We're remastering all of the FMV in high-quality 1080p bitrate to take advantage of the PlayStation 4 horsepower. And the PS Vita version is no slouch either. In fact, it's the same full experience that you'd experience on the console. We're supporting cross-play, cross-buy, and really anything that we can find that starts with the word cross.
Stitch.
Apparently. Confirmed.
It's got cross in it. Crossroad.
Yeah, Crossroads.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Cross-eyed.
Possible.
Making a specialised version for cross-eyed people.
Yep,
Well,
definitely. Bloodborne has been delayed by a month.
Oh God, no!
It was due out in February 2015 and will now launch in PAL regions on the 25th of March and in the UK and Ireland on the 27th of March.
So people just have to wait a little while longer to hate themselves.
Masaki Yamagiwa announced on the PlayStation blog, "We need to take a few more weeks to deliver the best possible final experience. We're really grateful for all the player data and feedback we've received from those who took part in the limited alpha test, and this extra development time will allow us to better integrate these learnings into the game."
Cool.
So they're working. They're working hard.
Like little munchkins.
Oh, Sean, there's
What?
no more news on the Amiibo.
Amiibo!
Nintendo has confirmed the Amiibo Toys to Life figures are only able to store information for one game at a time.
Great!
CVG has reported that Platform Holder advises that if you wish to use the data from other read-write compatible software, please erase the data in the Amiibo settings section of the Wii U settings menu. Amiibo with data already stored on them can still be used to unlock content in other games. They just won't be able to save any information associated with that game on their NFC chips.
Right, so...
So you can still put them down? they'll still unlock the thing in the game, but you won't be able to save anything to the little figure to take it away somewhere else unless you wipe it of the other game that you've got stuff saved on it.
So they want you to get multiple, so you can.
Yeah.
Or just play one game at once.
Or that.
Yeah.
But let's face it, they're making little figures that they're going to try and sell to kids, which they'll want one for every single game they can possibly get something for.
The Xbox One version of Grand Theft Auto 5 is now available to preload ahead of tomorrow's release of the game. Tomorrow, or is it Friday in the UK?
What game?
GTA 5.
Is it on Friday? I'd assume it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow's release.
I would have thought so. There's no way they would skip on a international for this.
In order to install the game, you need 42.44 gigabytes.
Holy hell!
Pre-order it, and you will also receive a 1 million GTA bucks bonus credits to spend within the game's single player and GTA Online. The digital pre-order currently costs you $54.99.
Ah, oof.
Which is about average for digital versions at the moment.
Yeah, they are a bit hefty. They are a bit hefty.
A little bit much, I think.
Well, it doesn't affect me because I've already got the game on an old gen console, so it matter to me.
Handsome Jack is the new playable character in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, with the Handsome Jack Doppelganger pack.
Well, if it's the Doppelganger.
It's a reasonable facsimile of Handsome Jack. You're his clone.
Not him.
No.
You're not so handsome, Jack.
You're that other guy that looks somewhat like Handsome Jack.
You're Jack with that mole on the side of his face.
Reasonably good-looking Jack.
Adequate Jack. Adequately good-looking Jack.
The pack introduces a fifth playable character who wields unique combat abilities and controls an army of digital decoys. 3 other Season Pass content packs will launch in the coming months and set you back $9.99 if you don't have the Season Pass.
Good.
Lego. No, I'm not going to do that one actually. That's about the end of the game. Bye. The Xbox
For everyone
One.
who's playing this game, I'm going to spoil it for you.
That's a terrible news story, by the way. By the way, here's an endgame Easter egg. Xbox units have sold almost 10 million Xbox Ones to retailers. Sales have skyrocketed. They've skyrocketed since the new price took effect on the 2nd of November. Said Yusuf Mehdi, the Xbox Corporate Vice President of Marketing, Strategy and Business, which basically is where they took a limited time price cut. What did I do? A limited time price drop in the United States, where the console is $350 without the Kinect, meaning that for the holiday season it is cheaper than the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Good strategy.
As we head into the busy holiday season, Xbox One led Generation 8 console sales in the US for the past 2 weeks. Added Yusuf. Shortly, we will have sold into retailers more than 10 million Xbox One consoles. They haven't actually said how many they've sold to consumers and how many are still sat on shelves at the retailer. But that's a thing.
Well,
It's moved, so, deal.
Rockstar has announced that heists are a thing.
Indeed, they have.
They will be hitting very soon. Actually, they've said they'll be hitting after will hit all 4 of the consoles at some point after launch. They will be the first update to the new game, the new Xbox One, PlayStation 4, that they will be coming out at the same time for those people who don't update.
Yes.
But
They
gen or
What?
was that meant to be your?
I beg your pardon?
You said it'll be coming out at the same time for people who don't update.
Yeah, it's coming out on all 4 consoles.
Yeah. People who don't upgrade, yeah. So,
Yeah.
They've not said precisely when it'll be coming, but they promised to provide details of that very soon.
Which I presume means they'll be trying to get one of those update pages up before they actually do the update.
cool. I'm coming.
In
How
addition to this,
many hypes do they get on the launch of the update?
I can barely hear you, Dan.
Well, I'm talking quite clearly. How many hypes are they going to be on when the update launches?
Doesn't mention.
They've not detailed, they just merely detailed that it will be coming out the next update.
Okay.
They do still say heists with a S at the end, rather than a heist will be coming, so I'm assuming at least 2?
I think minimum of 2, yes.
In addition to this update, Rockstar released some pretty big numbers for GTA's online mode. The company say that the mode has been played for more than 33.8 million people, for a total of more than 2.3 billion collective hours.
It's a bit of time.
Which at least several of those are you and me and Nat and Drew and Jason doing
Oh.
Let's Plays.
A little bit.
There have been 245,682,615 snapmatics. That's 432 of them taken every minute. Snapmatics, the photo taking app within the game.
Oh, the selfie thing that people do. What year?
The most popular clothing item in the game is the White Love T-shirt,
I don't know what that t-shirt is.
followed by a black vest, followed by a white V-neck T-shirt.
Are they possibly ones that?
Not sure.
What
They're
were that?
the top 20 clothing items,
Okay.
which I won't.
This pair of socks is fantastic.
Sandals and socks on the list? Really? Etc. Etc. But yes.
Blizzard has confirmed that
They've
North
confirmed
American
something.
servers faced a DDoS attack last week. Pretty significant one because they actually formally acknowledged it in the forums. Bashyok, community manager, has said, "We ran into a few other issues in North America, including a distributed denial of service attack, which resulted in increased latency."
Yes, I heard of many tales of the problems.
Meanwhile, Scream Ride, Frontier Developments roller coaster game, is scheduled to come to the Xbox One and Xbox 360 on March the 3rd. The game will see a release in Asia a few days later on March the 5th, followed by a European release on March the 6th.
It's a roller coaster simulator. What is this one again?
This is the one that Sean and I have talked about playing a year ago at EGX. And Sean, we both played the mode where you got a capsule with people in it and threw it at buildings.
Yep.
And knocked the buildings down, which was a lot of fun. And then I also played one of the roller coaster modes where you had to pilot the roller coaster as fast as you possibly can.
Without crashing and dying, right?
Ideally that, yes.
Hey!
But not if you want to have fun with the game.
Basically, you had to build up boost by going through certain points and holding a button down, and then using that boost to get around the rest of the track as quickly as you possibly can.
Okay.
There's also a mode where you can build your own roller coaster, which will be perfectly safe.
Perfectly safe roller coaster assembly. Perfectly safe roller coaster assembly. Perfectly safe roller coaster assembly.
It won't be perfectly safe.
In no way will it be perfectly safe.
Okay.
We've not had confirmation of the price in the UK just yet, but North American fans can expect to be paying $39.99 on the Xbox One and $29.99 on the Xbox 360. Well, possibly.
It's not going to be too expensive then, which is good.
It's not going to be a full price game, basically. The Frontier Developments, who are the developers of the game, also worked on Elite Dangerous, Connectimals, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and Zoo Tycoon.
Good.
Assassin's Creed Unity is getting a second update.
The second one?
Which will quash,
Third one, are they?
specifically address co-op crashes, haycart snags, and a glitch where Arno will fall through the ground into a deadly void.
Oh, hell.
I've seen lots of the PC version of people with no face, just eyes.
I've seen them. I think they
so-
attributed that to certain combinations of graphics cards and processors.
There will be an additional PC update that will fix flickering issues and improve the performance for specific hardware configurations.
But won't get rid of the horrific no face.
They just scream. They just scream.
Ubisoft notes that it plans to release this patch as soon as possible.
It's all you can hope for, really. So.
Shut your yapping.
To be fair, I've played the first part of the game and I didn't really run into too many issues. I am going to play more of it and I'll be talking about it probably next week.
Then I will continue to bitch about the issues.
Last month, paranautical activity developer Mike Mulbeck found himself in a little bit of hot water when he threatened to murder Valve's founder Gabe Newell following an advertising error on Steam that erroneously listed his game as being in early access.
Oh, no.
He then apologized for his behavior, which let me see if I can find his apology.
Did it read along the lines of, "Please, Gabe, please get your heavies away from me.
No.
Please, I like being able to walk. Don't break my legs."
That's the bathroom! No, please! Please! No! There's only 10 of those been made! No, that's my No!
He published this on the Code Avarice website, Code Avarice being the developer that he worked for. He said that his threat to Gabe Newell was completely unacceptable. As a result of my actions, Paranautical Activity, a game made by 4 or 5 people, depending on who you count as team members, was removed from Steam. I feel it is my responsibility to step down from Code Avarice completely so that Steam has no reason to harbour any ill will towards the company, and maybe if we can't see Paranautical Activity restored, at least future Code Avarice games may be allowed onto the platform. He said that he was really deeply sorry for his actions. I'm sorry that my statements made Valve and or Gabe uncomfortable and upset.
Yeah, threatening people's lives does tend to do that to them.
Yeah, threatening people's lives over a rather, not necessarily insignificant, but pretty insignificant error.
He admitted that he has a temper and a tendency to use
Twitter,
a tendency to use Twitter, a public forum, to vent. And it had been a consistent problem since he entered the games industry, and that he didn't have the willpower to be the face of a company. He did state that if I do continue to work in the game, if I do to continue to work in games, it will be as an anonymous 1 of 1,000 at some bleep corporation, not the public face of a single-digit-sized team, which really begs the question: who the hell is going to hire him?
I wonder if he's one in. Well, if he's.
Here's my resume. I threatened Gabe Newell's life, by the way. Anyway, do I like your motorbike?
He used the S word to describe any corporation that he's going to apply to. Actually, wait, no, we're on YouTube. I can swear, right?
Yes.
Don't be naughty.
Fuck.
Sweet. It's unbecoming.
If I do continue to work in games, it will be as an anonymous 1 of 1,000 at some shitty corporation.
Oh, John.
Who's going to hire you if you say that about their company?
About a prospective employer, yeah.
Well,
I mean, like, you get a lot of, like, bosses that are like, yeah, I don't care, you can swear or something. Yeah, like, I don't care, just be productive. Here's a
yeah,
cat.
so, anyway,
Back to the asbestos mines with you.
He's back at Code Avarice.
Are you making noises with your mouth?
Yes.
Yes, I am. I'm that kind of boss.
Mike couldn't commit to his decision to leave Code Avarice, said the studio on their official blog. In the weeks following,
we just can't get rid of him. He's chained himself to the desk.
I'm not a man of his word.
In the weeks following his official stepping down, Mike had second thoughts. Looking for a new source of income was extremely overwhelming, and when it finally came time to put pen to paper, Mike and Travis, the other co-founder, agreed the best thing to do would be to have Mike return to Code Avarice. In retrospect, we should have waited until everything was finalized before making the announcement, but Mike was extremely eager to just get out and never look back.
Then he looked back, and then he came back.
The studio is taking steps to spruce up its professional image, such as launching a separate Twitter account just for the company.
By not letting him anywhere near any sort of marketing.
in which every single post will be proofread by both Mike and Travis.
Sounds good so far.
We're taking steps to make Code Avarice more about the games and less about the people making them. From now on, rather than blog posts being written and signed by one of the developers, they will all be co-written by Mike and Travis and written from the perspective of the company rather than an individual. Interacting back with Mike and Travis will now be completely optional.
They've muted him.
they've decided that rather than being a public-facing person, they will be a company.
A faceless company.
A company with two faces, and you can't blame on anybody.
They're going to be a two-faced company. This is just getting worse, John.
In other Code Avarice news, they've just announced their new game, Spinal Destination.
Really?
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, not coming to Steam.
It is described as Left 4 Dead meets Time Splitters meets Painkiller.
Interesting.
And the question remains, will it come to Steam?
No! No, it never will.
Nintendo! Nintendo fans in the UK may have lost their ability to peruse Nintendo-related news and features via the printed page when the official Nintendo magazine was shut down last month. But now there is a new digital magazine set to take its place. Dubbed Nintendo Extra, this new branch of the Nintendo UK site features articles based on several key company franchises, including Pokemon, Mario Kart, Pikmin, and The Legend of Zelda.
Have you got the block?
The feet of Zelda.
You got the bloke from Halifax, haven't you?
Doesn't mention that here. Before you get too carried away,
It's too late, John. I've already been carried away.
Come back, okay. Sean.
Oh, fine, I'm here.
Most of the content included in the first issue of the Extra is quite short, and a few of the articles amount to little more than adverts for the game. There is some noteworthy content, including tips on getting the best time in Mario Kart, and an interview with The Legend of Zelda series producer Iji Oanuma, where questions include such things as, who are Link and Zelda?
Never heard of these two people.
Maybe Digital Magazine is pushing it.
Now.
Well, they got to get in their stride and everything, don't they? So
we'll see.
We shall give it time.
Digital pamphlet.
Give it time.
Liar.
Give it time.
PlayStation 4 users picking up Grand Theft Auto 5 tomorrow will have to download a Day 1 patch.
Great.
In order to experience the game properly.
So it's broken on the PS4.
Guess how big the patch is?
4,500 terabytes.
Close. 1.14 gig.
It's pretty hefty.
Why?
There is going to be a patch on the Xbox One, but the size of that has not been confirmed just yet. They recommend that all users download the patch before playing, and the update is said to include tweaks and optimization fixes.
So it's broken.
No comment.
It's broken. Oh, broken.
Sean.
What?
You've got cult hit Goat Simulator.
I do. And I have heard such things about it.
Did you see that developer Coffee Stain Studios is going to be releasing a free update to it later this month?
I have heard such a thing. Detail it, John. Detail it.
I shall detail it, because that's kind of what I do around here.
Why do we need to say that it's a free update these days? We never used to have to say it was a free update. Updates always used to be free.
Well, this is basically free DLC.
That's what all DLC used to be in updates.
I remember a time when we didn't have to have DLC. You used to all go on the disc. Oh, I remember the day. Oh.
I remember that day as well.
The new expansion promises to feature faction-based warfare between the goats and the sheep, along with numerous quests. Players can additionally choose to play of one of 5 available classes, including the warrior, rogue, magician, hunter, and microwave.
And acrobat.
Nope.
Oh.
With a level cap of 101.
Yeah. Yeah.
The MMO-styled release will launch on November the 20th as free DLC for anyone who owns it on Steam.
Which is me! I own it on Steam!
I want to see the trailer, but that's really not going to work at all on this format.
Not really.
Miyamoto!
Ah, Miyamoto.
Shigeru Miyamoto, to be precise, not just any old Miyamoto, has lashed out at people who aren't Nintendo.
How dare you not be Nintendo?
For what he perceives as a slew of Me Too products. He told The Telegraph, "What the other companies are doing makes business sense, but it's boring. The same games appear on every system. At Nintendo, we want an environment where game creators can collaborate and think of ideas for games that could never have happened before." Miyamoto also refused to be drawn out on any potential involvement in the blossoming virtual reality sector, stating that, "I have nothing to tell you about Nintendo's involvement in the virtual reality sector. We have nothing to announce yet."
I refuse to be drawn out on this matter.
We're trying to hide the whole Virtual Boy thing behind us. Can't you just leave us alone?
What he would say of VR was to comment on how he never liked the way players of Nintendo's famously ill-fated Virtual Boy had to sit hunched over while playing. He said, "It didn't look beautiful to me, which was something of a concern."
And it was nothing to do with the fact it made most people puke their guts out after a couple of seconds.
Bungie has rolled out a huge title update for Destiny.
Huge title update.
2.44 gigabytes
Holy
of title update that will introduce new social features and prepares users for next month's The Dark Below expansion. It includes new content and geometry found in The Dark Below that players will be able to use once they purchase the DLC on December the 9th, as well as new social feature that enables users to access a channel for team chat. This feature means that teammates will now be able to talk to each other in strikes and team-based multiplayer matches without joining a party. Other fixes to classes, weapons, activities, the HUD, and more are also included in the patch, along with a rule change for the Iron Banner. This is the first of a series of updates that will deliver new content in the lead-up to The Dark Below, said Bungie. Update 1.0.3 provides new social features, revisions to activities, alterations to competitive spaces, adjustments to the player's overall experience, as well as a sizable download of new content and geometry to support the first expansion of the World of Destiny. The Iron Banner special event is also being updated with new rules and features prior to its second run.
I didn't bother with the Iron Banner, so it makes no odds to me. But all the other stuff sounds cool.
And finally, for this week's news, Football Manager. Football Manager, guys. It's a game about managing a football club.
It is.
Yep. I've played that.
It needs a large population of names.
Does it?
Because you have lots of players on a football team, and all of those players need names.
They do, yeah.
They tend to. Number one has done a thing.
One Football Manager 2015 player has found a list of 128 names that aren't allowed in the randomly generated names in a file called Forbidden Names.
The Forbidden Names.
These include such wonderful names as Adolf Hitler, The Plumbine School Shooters.
There's a bunch of people you don't want in your team.
Dick Hole.
You have a ball.
Bend over, by any chance?
Fanny Facey.
Or see the ones that have been put in it by people previously, and so they banned them on that instance.
Possible.
Probably.
Actually, we've got the list of 128 names here. Let me have a quick look.
You don't need to see them, John.
Oh!
Fidel Castro, he's not allowed. Dick Facey, Dick Feely.
I see what they did there.
Hermann Goering, he's not allowed as a footballer.
Oh, I do wonder why.
Rolf Harris.
God.
Dickhead.
Richard?
Nobody called Richard is allowed.
Saddam Hussein, he's not a footballer.
What?
Not anymore.
Kim Jong.
He certainly couldn't header a ball. Not anymore.
Wayne King.
That's unreal.
I don't understand it, John. What are you talking about? I don't understand that one.
Dick Leak. He's not allowed.
That's enough of this now.
We get the picture. A bunch of immature names that most people wouldn't bother with. Well, I'm saying most people wouldn't bother with. There's plenty of people who
The
would.
point is that this is to stop the randomized name generator randomly choosing the name of such a thing. It's only 128 names.
So I'm sure people can find other ones.
So there are probably going to be a few on there that somehow the names do come up in an awkward or amusing fashion.
Well, maybe by logic, those are all names that are entered in as candidates to be selected for the randomly generated names. So you can, for instance, get a Dick Hitler or a...
Possible.
Maybe they've blocked those two names from combining together, so you don't get an Adolf Hitler generated within the game, but you could easily get...
Adolf Jones is fine.
Exactly. Bang on. Precisely. Maybe this is the logic there.
Oh, Osama bin Laden is also on the list. He's not a footballer.
Wow.
Just to let you guys know.
Once again, not anymore.
Well, you can't be one of these. But you can't be...
Cromwell.
Who?
Why wouldn't they let Oliver Cromwell be? Whatever.
There's not a more recent Oliver Cromwell, has there?
Nope.
Well,
Don't think so.
apparently you're just out of it for life.
Well, he was a miserable bastard. So
Anyway, that's it for names that you can't have in Football Manager and the news. So, Sean, do you want to start?
Okay. I can't remember what the thought went through my head that I suddenly had the urge to play the Ghostbusters video game.
Was it, I really want to play the Ghostbusters video game?
No, it was just something. I thought of something like
People have been
during
busy.
last week, and then I suddenly thought I really should look for that because I had it before when it first came out, and it was only on the PlayStation 3. I had it, and I completed it, and it was great. And then I traded it in.
Very good.
And then I traded it in, got rid of it. And then just recently, I just suddenly thought, I really want to play that again. And so I searched my local gaming emporium, and they didn't have it, obviously, because it's quite an old game now. And then I thought, well, I'll have a look on the PlayStation, not the PlayStation, the Xbox store. And it was there, and it was for $11.99, and all was good. So I decided to get it, download it, and play it, and I played it, and much like I did when I originally got it for the PlayStation 3 is I obliterated that game in a couple of hours because I love it. I love that game.
It is a really good game.
For anyone who's a fan of the Ghostbusters films, it's just so worth it. I mean, you get to play as a Ghostbuster. There's nothing better than that. I mean, they've not. It's one of. I mean, by all means, it wasn't linked to either one of the films, but it's one of the best like movie-linked games that I've ever played, in my opinion.
It's not linked to the films, but it is set in the same world as them.
It's set in the same world. Yeah, it's fully connected, and the events of the films happened, but it's like taking the place of a third film.
Yes.
So, I just love it. I absolutely adore that game. But this time around, I didn't make the mistake I did on the PlayStation 3. And I remembered there are a bunch of achievements that you can get in each level that you can do silly things in the level for.
There's that one where you get rid of a ham, isn't there?
Yeah. In the first level, you're
everything but ham.
No. It's the first level. You're at the Hotel Sedgwick again because Slime has escaped. And he keeps escaping and going back to the Sedgwick because that's where he was caught. That's his home. And so, eventually you get through that ballroom that you were in before, and it's been prepared for a bar mitzvah, and there's a ham on the buffet table.
That shouldn't be there.
Which shouldn't be there. And so, yeah, you have to. If you destroy the ham, you get an achievement. And if you I can't remember what the other ones were now. There's a load of there's one achievement in each level that is just a random thing you can do that normally you wouldn't necessarily think of doing. But it's just you look.
You may not be looking a list up.
I'm not looking at this stuff. I'm not looking it up. You can look it up if you want. You can look it up if you want. But I went through and I made sure I got them all on my playthrough this time around. I can't remember what they all are now. There's one of them for destroying all the hedges in a hedge maze. There's one for on the second level. I remember you got to essentially destroy an entire architect's office.
I love you when you roughhouse.
Yeah. You got to cause $10,000 worth of damage in that one office. But yeah, a lot of very funny achievements. And there's just so many nods to the old films, and you're playing a game with the Ghostbusters, obviously the likenesses of the Ghostbusters, and all of them, all the original cast came back to voice for that game. So it's just a one massive nostalgia fest.
I should check and see if I still have my copy of it and/or buy it again.
I just had to get it again because it's just I wasn't playing it for so many years, so I in the end traded it in, and then I was like, it's just the other day, last week, I just wanted to play it desperately, which then led me to have to watch I've only watched the first movie so far this week, but I'll be planning on watching the second one.
Sadly, we don't have a podcast for that just yet.
Not yet. But yeah, I just love that game. It's so rare to find a game that kind of fits the film so perfectly, and it's just the fact that anyone who's a fan of the Ghostbusters games has always wanted to play, or has always wanted to be a Ghostbuster. Has always wanted to be in that situation and have the proton pack and all that wonderful jazz, and hang around with the original Ghostbusters. They've always wanted that. At least most. I speak for myself, but I think most people feel the same.
Me too. Yep.
Yeah.
I know several members of the Essex Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of them concentrated in Harlow with full proton pack, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a popular franchise, and they even though I don't think it got very good reviews, when it came out.
I can't remember what sort of reviews
Anyone
it got, really.
I
I
think
can't remember either.
it was labelled as a reskin Gears of War, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Might
Although,
I think that got.
I don't think it got slated, but I don't think it got very. I think it was kind of average reviews.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really went one way or the other with it.
No.
It's a shame.
Yeah, because it is a good. In my opinion, it's a good game. It's not. I mean, I know. I remember in the because it came out before. Well, the PlayStation 2 was still a viable console at the time because they released it on there. And I remember on that they turned it into some cartoony.
Oh yeah, that wasn't good.
Thing, and it didn't look as good and didn't play as good.
Well, it
But
came out while the format wars was still going on because it came with a Blu-ray version of the. Yeah. So
yeah,
It was during the wars, so the exclusivity was probably because of the format wars.
Well, the exclusivity was bought last minute for the PlayStation.
it literally because I remember I pre-ordered it for the Xbox, and I then saw on the place I had pre-ordered it that they were saying it was like coming out in like I can't remember. I think it was like half a year later.
Yeah.
And then the company I was buying it from said we can't discuss it, but this is correct. And then literally the day later they came out and actually confirmed it was exclusive to the PlayStation for like 6 months. It's like, which was very, very weird. But I then had to immediately buy it on the PlayStation 3, so it didn't matter to me. So, but yeah, I really enjoy that game, and I really want them to make another one in that line, in that kind of same vein, especially since at the end of this one, they mentioned that during the credits they mentioned there's like a voiced section where all the original Ghostbusters are like talking about you, and they mentioned that they're planning to franchise out to another state. So I would love for them to make a new game where you are playing as your own Ghostbuster
as the head of Ghostbusters Inc. for
not even that, as you can like a cooperative game where each person designs their own Ghostbuster, and I don't know, they can possibly pick from like a selection of personalities or something which denotes what they say or wisecrack or whatever.
Well, think about what they did with Saints Row. They actually had all of the voices in there.
Yeah, exactly. So you could design your own Ghostbuster to look how you wanted, and you could go on like 4-player cooperative missions throughout the entire game, throughout the entire campaign. I'd love for them to do that. That would be awesome. Everyone would love that.
developers.
Get on that. Checkmate playable. He points on my behalf.
I have hands.
Because no one else, neither me nor Dan, have hands. So, yeah, they should get on that. I think that would be awesome.
May have pointed or fallen over.
Yeah.
I am pointing. You just can't see it.
I point once again.
But yeah, that was my experience for this week.
I shall go next, because I say so. And I've played a little bit of this one. I'm going to talk about it.
Never heard of it.
I played a little bit of that. I've basically got through what can mostly be titled as the pre-assassin experience.
So when Ezio wasn't as an assassin and stuff like that.
Basically, yeah, the bit where Arno's a growing up boy and
he's a growing lad.
Some interesting outside of the game bits. Like you start the game up and it comes up with like a TiVo screen with all of the different Abstergo Entertainment licenses. Like the idea is that this is the Helix server that is a thing that allows you to experience other people's DNA experiences.
Right.
So whereas before with the Animus you've only been able to experience your own life. they've got this new thing now called the Helix that allows you to experience other people's DNA, which they started to hint at in Assassin's Creed 4, and now obviously this is the key feature of Unity. And so you've got this massive list of 20 or 30 different experiences that include the other Assassin's Creed titles, with slightly funky names. But there's like a couple of them that are just completely made up franchises that include ones that's along the lines of Jazz Age Junkies. And now I'm really like, I want to see those. That looks interesting.
Well, you never know. They may well make them because they've already got things and stuff.
They
kind of run out of steam in the middle there, Sean.
But I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
But basically, you start the game and you play a little bit as a Templar controlled thing under the power of Abstergo, and the assassins then hack in and you get given Arno. But you grow up with him and you do some stuff, and then the bad stuff happens. I've been mostly playing in the last week, however, this one. This is the advantage to podcasting both from home and with video, is that I can actually pick things up and show them.
Rather than just saying it.
But nobody wants it.
Visual aids. Look,
Yes, but nobody likes. Yes, but nobody likes to show off, John. So get on with it.
These things. I have this too. Look at the stuff that is around. Look,
Now you're just doing that weird old woman from Labyrinth.
I've also got this. This allows me to clean glasses.
Oh, you like Mr. Bear, don't you? Oh, you like Mr. Bear. Oh, yes, that's right. You like.
That reminds me, we need to do this one on Nerd Night sometime, guys.
Well, get it out of your room.
This just. Oh, we lost Dan.
Dan's gone.
Ooh, bugger. Bear with me one moment.
Do 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 do. Do, 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 do,
This just allows me to keep my hair shiny and upwards.
And manageable.
And
because
this,
John's worth it.
This is just an FBF business card. Things from around my room.
The podcast. That almost went Bowie.
Bowie.
But now it's going full Bowie.
I've been playing Halo, the Master Chief Collection, in that I installed it and have played the first bit of Halo Anniversary, which I had forgotten the control for it. Well, I'd forgotten the control for it. There is an option in the Anniversary Edition that they've brought into the Halo 2 Anniversary Edition that lets you press a button, and when you press said button, it switches from new and shiny graphics to the old crap we used to have. And
wow.
It lets you seamlessly do it on the fly.
But I don't want to do it on a fly, John. I want to do it on a console.
So at any point you're just walking down a corridor, you press, in this case, I don't know what it's called.
The make it look like shit button.
But it's this one.
That one.
Does anybody know what this button's called?
I can't remember what they call it. There's no longer a select button, is it? It's like menu? Or...
Might be menu. I thought that one was the menu button. The like one with the drop, it looks down like a drop-down button.
I don't know. I don't know.
People refer to this one.
You must have an instruction booklet there somewhere, John.
I probably do. I have heard people refer to this one as the burger button because it's kind of like three things. So it's like the burger and the button.
Burger button.
But anyway, the menu button, I think. Answer down below in the comments. What do you call that button?
Is it the burger button?
There's the burger button and then the other button. what do you call both of the buttons? Because they're not start and back anymore.
Do you button? Bro, do you even button?
Do you even button? You press that button, and at any point while you're playing a level, it'll just switch back to the stuff from, well, must be going on like 12 years ago now. Which is impressive. Because
of reasons.
It lets you actually see what the differences are.
It is rather. There's not many games. I mean, it's been mostly a lot older games that have done that, like
Yes.
Another World, the Monkey Island games, the recent Monkey Island revamps, and stuff like that have done it. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see like the newer games like Halo, to see the difference between them.
I've got to say, it's really interesting to see. I do think if I was showing anyone this, I would have probably given them an epileptic fit with the amount of times I just randomly prammed the button.
Randomly prammed it.
I just hit the button. I hit the button, and I keep hitting the button, and it looks. It's interesting to see the difference. Is all I'm going to say. Like, obviously, part of the problem with this newly updated version is that Halo Anniversary is a few years old now, and doesn't necessarily look as good as it could do. And the same sort of thing is going to occur when I get to Halo 3 and Halo 4. Is they're a few years old, and they don't necessarily hold up quite as well as
other Xbox One games.
Other Xbox One games are going to. But Halo 2 Anniversary is all shiny and new.
It will be. You can go and attack that scarab thing again that goes riding down. What is it, in Africa, that you've got a giant jump on it for?
Yeah.
But then again, I don't think, my opinion, that the scarabs weren't half as fun to attack as they were in 3. I think it was 3.
Although the interesting thing is not just in Halo Anniversary, you can press the back button at any time, or the button with no name at any time, and it switches back and forth between the old graphics and the new graphics. They've kept that in Halo 2 Anniversary, but they've also allowed you to do it in the cutscenes.
Cool.
So they've got all of these shiny new cutscenes that have been reanimated by Blur Studios, who are apparently the guys that you just go to when you want high quality cutscenes.
They tend to be that guy. They are pretty much that guy now.
And you've got these amazing cutscenes that have been completely re-camered, sort of perspective to show the funky new visual graphics, and you can at any time press the button and go back and look at what it looked like in Halo 2. I mean, one of the key differences is with the gameplay. Obviously, you've got exactly the same frame. You know, you're looking at a door, and the door stays in the same place, but the graphics of it change, the textures on it change, the detailing around it changes.
Do they expertly simulate the texture pop that Halo 2 had?
I've not yet actually done any of Halo 2.
I think it was the first game that I really encountered. That's when I realized, oh, it's going to be a lot of just like splashed on textures now, isn't it? Because it's just like, I can't remember.
It was rather famous for it.
I can't remember what scene it was, but there was one video, one FMV sequence. I remember that it went from like looking at Master Chief to suddenly looking at the sergeant. I can't remember his sergeant's name now.
Johnson.
Johnson, and it's like there was like no textures at all on him or the background or anything. And it's like but, yeah, that was I hope they do that in the in the remade one.
Well, I've not actually done any of Halo 2 just yet because I decided that for my initial solo playthrough, I might just go from start to end. Probably not going to actually carry on with that.
It's a good idea to do.
It might be a nice idea to do it at some point. What I am going to be doing, tease, is in the coming weeks.
And months and years.
Well, probably this weekend, maybe.
Okay.
Depending on how busy I am and what other stuff I have to do. Possibly next week. Me and my brother are gonna play Halo: The Master Chief Collection.
On Legendary.
Possibly on Legendary.
On Legendary. You heard it here first, people. Legendary.
Possibly on Legendary. And we're gonna just do the greatest hits of the Master Chief Collection and basically take our favorite levels from Halos 1 through 4, which is what's on here.
Funny that.
And complete them.
Sounds like a good plan.
Because that's kind of what you do with a level.
Personal favourite is the like I said, I'm pretty sure it's in Halo 3 where you got to actually fly around on those the things, and you got to get on the scarabs and blow them up, because they were so much more fun to blow up in 3.
I think, at least from the moment, we've decided from Halo 1, we're going to do the library, and we're going to do the Maw, which is the last level.
Yeah.
I don't think we've decided any of the other Halos just yet. I think Halo 2, we're going to have to do a level or two. I think we're going to have to do like 2 from each of them.
At least
probably.
2.
I don't really know how many we're going to do. This week, though, we are going to tease. We are going to be playing this co-op.
If it works, John, remember the patches! Remember the patches!
Because there is multiplayer in this.
We may have heard, John.
And we're gonna do some of that. It's very heavily lured in. Well, there's a bit in the game, and I'm not talking too much about Unity, I hope. I'm just kind of hoping that Dan might return if I keep talking for a little while. Actually, before I talk about that, I'm going to send him another invite.
Could be an idea.
Invite sent. There's a bit in Unity where it opens up and you can customize Arno, and he's gone through like assassin school.
He's got a certificate and everything.
Well, he's got his assassin's outfit, and you can customize your assassin outfit. And you get given a coffee house because it's France.
Of course.
And when you graduate
you're eating a croissant and you're wearing a beret.
When you graduate from assassin school, you get given a coffee shop. That's like the assassin cover business. Which is basically your upgradey madoodles.
Your hideout.
Yeah.
Yes.
And basically, in the basement of assassin hideout McDoodle coffee shop place.
Central Perk, let's call it
that. Central Perk, as it clearly is the clubhouse. which is where your club.
Does it have a sticker on it saying "No girls allowed"?
Yes, probably actually. It's basically where your assassin's team can meet up. And the idea that you go down there and the guy that introduces you to the assassins is there and basically tells you that every so often you find a mission that's too difficult for a single assassin to go on, and so you go as part of a club. And Arno sort of sneers at him, saying like,
"I need no help." But
along the lines
in a perfectly English accent, because for some strange reason he doesn't have a French one.
Along the lines of, because being in one secret society isn't enough.
I need to be in multiple.
And basically, the guy's like, yeah, but if you're in a club, you get to know the strengths and weaknesses of all the people that you fight alongside. And it's basically the clan system for Unity.
Makes sense.
And then basically when it first opens up to this sort of big open map that you can see everything on, Bishop, who is the assassin woman that's talking to you.
Bishop, you know, the android from Aliens.
Yeah, that dude, except it's a girl.
And not an android.
And not an android, and is basically the cover name for what's her face.
I don't know.
Desmond's mate. Female mate.
But I can't remember. It's been ages.
Oh, come on, Wikipedia, you fail me.
Come on, Wikipedia, you son of a bitch. Anyway, that woman.
Oh, Rebecca.
Rebecca. Rebecca. See? It's Rebecca. No idea who Rebecca is. Anyway.
I'm fairly certain it's Rebecca Crane, who is the creator of the Animus 2.0, who basically goes with you throughout from Assassin's Creed 2 onwards. And basically, she points out to these places where there are missions that are too tough for a single assassin to go on, and so you can hack into them and play them with other people in other Helix servers, basically meaning that you'll be playing with other people playing as Arno, and points out that it's a bit like a multiplayer video game.
Really now? I wonder what that is like.
Which she points out that she's played some, but they never really her thing.
I should hope so.
I'm at the point where I've done my first bit where I'm not in the revolution anymore. I'm currently in 1880.
Right.
Which is basically how they're getting around the fact that the assassins are hacking the Abstergo system
and making stuff go weird.
Well, basically, the Abstergo system is sweeping for this rogue Arno that's gone off track, which is you, the player. And so you have to get out of the main Helix system into a subserver. And that subserver is running broken code of a different time period.
So it's all broken. So broken.
Well, so the example I've got in 1880 Paris is that the people are ghosts.
That just sounds weird and creepy.
I'm going to assume that Dan's not returning,
I would presume so.
as he does not seem to have reappeared in the podcast. You can actually see Arno. Where's my finger? There. That's Arno.
I can't see him because where you're pointing is right behind my little box.
Oh.
So, so I'm sure other people can see it, but I can't.
Other people could see Arno, because my Xbox One is turned on but dimmed, and that's Arno, and then that's the Master Chief Collection, like purchase me thing there, and then this is telling me that nobody's signed into achievements.
Good for them.
Because I was looking at my achievements, because you can now put Xbox One users can now put their achievement art as backgrounds. Ding.
Yeah, no one likes to show off, John.
This has been a public service, and now actually you can show off even more, because you can not only put an achievement and a piece of achievement art as a background, but you can actually include either 6 achievements or 6 pieces of game clips as show-off things in your profile on Xbox One.
Yeah, no one likes to show off, John.
So you can actually say, hey, look, I live in this place, and I like playing these games, and here are my 6 achievements that are awesome.
And you will never obtain.
Anyway, I'm going to call it here.
Yep. Sorry, we can't talk about Costume Quest again.
I will show you, however, this T-shirt. Ooh, look at the T-shirt.
It's a T-shirt. I don't know what it is, though. Can't quite see.
It's pirates versus ninjas.
Oh, I knew that.
But it's like typographic, so you've got like words
Oh, right, I get it.
that make up a pirate on one half, and then words that make up a ninja on the other half that makes up the half that's a ninja. It's from the latest Loot Crate.
Yes, when I eventually get a job, I'll start getting loot crates, but until I get that, I shall go without.
You can just look at the things that I get.
Indeed I can.
I've just tried to move my mouse from my desktop computer onto my laptop, and that doesn't work.
It doesn't really.
Yeah. Anyway, bye guys.
Toodles!